Alright, so next is to actually go through the game itself that I have implemented to demo everything that it works inside of the engine. So I have these various consumables. The consumables each do different things. So the ammo crate, when the player uses ammo, they can collide with this ammo crate and replenishes their ammo. The damage boost, so this one is an invulnerability, so when the player collides with this one, the player is able to take more damage for a set amount of time. After the time is up, the player's health is set back to what it was before it collided with the damage boost. The health pack is an actual health replenish, so if the player collides with it, the player will replenish their health, and they can replenish it to full health. And then the speed boost is it increases the player's speed for a certain amount of time so that it can chase down or get away from certain enemies, or basically it's to get away further from the homing missile. So the homing missile is tracks the player and stays tracking the player until it collides with it. The player can shoot at the homing missile and destroy it, and so it's basically like another enemy. But yeah. Then I have just these random objects. So this is the car objects and the tree. So these I'm no longer using inside of the game. I have my various managers. So the enemy spawner. This handles the spawning of the various enemies. The game manager. So this has these. I have these HUDs for when you finish a level, and you go on to the next one, and then this is for the last level once you're done. Yeah, it just informs the player that they finished the game, and then they can press escape. So inside here, this is the game manager. So this is how it sets up for everything. So just the cleanup, the constructor, initialize, switching to levels or enemy check, and then just how you continue on. And then the player HUD. So this is for the player death. So when the player dies, you say press enter to continue. So then the player can restart the level that they're at. Um, or restarts the game over. This is the player manager, handles everything for the player itself, and then there's the scene. So there's level 2. So level 2 is where the boss is, and then the tank scene is technically level 1. So this is where set up for the level 1. So right now there are just one tank enemy, one jet enemy. Um, so if we go inside of the player itself, so the player has a tank factory, it has a HUD, it has an object pool, so inside of the HUD, this is where everything is set up for this, so it has the green bar, this is just display for the ammo and the health itself, and then it displays to the player what it needs to do, what they need to do to complete the mission. Then the update is just how it updates to the health of the player currently. And then cleanup, you have the projectiles, you have the bullet, the enemy bullet. So the bullet is against the enemy. The enemy bullet is for the enemy. And then you have the homing missile. This is used by the boss. So it creates a missile that will then track the player. So it uses the finite state machine that I've implemented. So inside of here of the enemies, here's the finite. So it has the base class, and you have the finite state machine, which I basically grabbed the same concept over from Centipede and placed it inside of this um, game. And then we have the boss enemy. So the boss enemy is just a bigger jet, the enemy tank, and then the fighter jet. The enemy jet, the boss enemy is the one that uses the homing missile. So that over here is where we have it using that homing missile factory. So it just creates an enemy, and then it has gets the target. So it's the target as the player, so that it can actually target it. And all the various states. So we have the chase, the patrol, idle. You have the basic move finite state, and then the move state. So this is the base class, and then you have patrol, and it uses the range for checks. And yeah, I think that covers everything for the game itself. So this will just be a quick run through. I've made the enemies take 2 hits before they die, and then we move on. So player right over here, they take damage, boom, collide. You'll be able to pick up more health, collide with the bullet, they die. That bullet missed. There we go. We completed the mission. Play spacebar to continue. So it's the same. Right over here we have the enemy. There's the boss. So the boss is going to fire homing missiles at the player. So there's a homing missile. Boom, there's collision with the homing missile. The homing missile is now chasing the player. And there we go. Thanks for playing Escape, and that is the full demo of the game. But if you want to add more enemies, you can do so at the scene start, and then the boss can take more damage as well. But yeah, that's my current game to display everything that functions. You're able to use the sprite. You're able to use this sprite string. You're able to test collision between terrain. And different objects. So the terrains, as you can see, there right up top over there. That particular damage boost is sitting on top of a terrain section. So is this ammo crate, so that the player interacts with it. So testing the height is fine. I had problems with my normals, so the normals weren't giving me the correct numbers. I was running out of time, so I just decided to leave it in with terrain testing with the height. So the enemies also interact with the terrain. So then go ahead and demo that. You can turn off the visualizer. Right now the player doesn't have any damage, so taken, so that it doesn't happen. And then we have to make sure that, see how the when you collide with one, you're able to grab more, but it doesn't crash the game. If you collide with it again, you just have the same amount of health. So it's just it's basically a waste of a pickup. So say I grab this power up, I boost up, and that's it. I cannot grab the invulnerability because there is currently a boost being used, so you can only use one at a time. But as far as the health goes and the ammo pack goes, you can grab those as much as you like to replenish the player. So right now the enemies are just patrolling, and yeah, that's what I have for my game. And I believe that covers everything for the final sprint. Um,